what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Starmetal Gaming and our campaign Cauldron of Bones. How are my players doing tonight?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
Good. We're going to throw some dice.
Well, it's good to have all y'all back. I guess we'll go ahead and get on our stuff because we're a little bit late getting started tonight. All right.
Fashionably late.
The team members awaken to Ladorn looking down on them. As their eyes open, they see the magic slowly dissipating from her hand that is reaching out towards them. They look around to find themselves riding upon the top of a giant sword, exactly like the one that she carried on her in the kingdom. Upon coming to consciousness, she asks them to keep to the center of the blade, that lightning can still hit them at the edge, and that she has one more of their party to pick up. Obviously, Jared, you're not with them at that time.
Under the sea.
So I'm checking on the other two to see if they're hurt. I mean, I don't know if she healed me, but I took like 36 points of damage that fight.
Okay, I'm going to say she didn't actually heal y'all, but she did resurrect you from being drowned. So, well, not resurrected, but stopped your drowning.
Resuscitate.
Resuscitation. Resurrection,
Are we all
resuscitation.
Like or
Close. It starts with R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I will say that she brought y'all back to full health then, since that would have killed y'all outright. So yeah, you're all at full health.
I say, oh no, I'm still unconscious. I need mouth to mouth.
I'll walk over to Pexor.
Yeah?
And, I'll grab his cheeks, make him do a fish face. Yeah.
Hey,
you're
bro,
okay.
You're crimping my style, okay?
You're okay.
Crimping my style.
Your dress got wet, though. I'm sorry.
Are you talking to her?
No, I'm talking to Pexor.
All right.
He's just...
And so I said, oh, you know what? You're right. So I get butt naked. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I sit there and I will take my cloak off and I'll hand it to him and I'll say, all right, Mr. Clothesline, let's get this dried.
Okay. You're the one with magic powers.
Ladorn averts her eyes.
Well, no, I'm just taking my like cloak off. I still have like a shirt and pants on and everything. I haven't been walking around in underwear and a cloak this whole time.
Not going Scottish there,
huh? Not yet, at least. The night's still young.
How did you know where we were, Lord?
Actually, I didn't know. I just heard that y'all were traveling down, that they said there were some strange people that were down at the docks. I couldn't find any of you after you left the bar, and I still had some things to talk to Othello about, even after Pexor's scene. But I'm glad I found y'all when I did. Anybody I've seen before, I can cast magic to make sure I can find them in the near future, and lucky for y'all, you were just barely within my range and I could still locate you. But I still have one member of your group to pick up because I believe he's walking at the bottom of the ocean.
Who do we have that can walk at the bottom of the ocean?
Well, look around and who's not here.
Stone Scribe and Malediction. Oh, I would guess Malediction. Like a suit of armor. Oh, that never crossed my mind. He didn't need air.
I could see that would never cross your mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's supposed to mimic a human and everything. Maybe they gave him, I don't know, leather lung sacks. You know.
What kind of train thought is this?
The thought train of a man who's never seen a Warforged before.
I mean, we've seen the inside of one, and it didn't have any of that.
Maybe she was a yeah, but she could also fly.
Yeah, you're right. We still have yet to
Yeah,
unlock that.
yeah.
I would have come up first, but I sensed that y'all were dying. So I came to you first as quickly as I could. But sure enough, we can turn around and pick up your friend if he is still a part of your party.
Malediction, most certainly. I do not know the fate of Stone Scribe though. He
Would these items belong
disappeared.
to him? And she moves over, and behind her on the other side, you see Stone Scribe's mask and his robe.
That is
Yeah.
odd. That is his.
Well, I don't know what would become of him, but the sea is treacherous right now, and the waves are so big. Maybe he was taken or washed up somewhere. This is all I found.
And you don't sense him with your magic at all?
I do not.
Well, as sad as that is to hear, if he is alive, he would know where to find us because he would know where we would want to go next. Um, but
Well, oh, it depends on where you want to go, but I did discuss with Othello that he needed to go and see the Council of the Elements. So I thought that it would be beneficial for me and him to take y'all there tonight. This is the only time I can use the ability of my sword is on the full moon, and it dissipates when the sun rises. So this is our only shot for me to take y'all there unscathed. You're actually quite lucky because I usually have to use this, and for some one thing or another, and I have it saved up to save y'all tonight. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to gather you out of the water.
well, then the fates align, and I am very grateful for that, my lady. If there is anything you do want to speak to Othello with, please feel free. He can't run away this time.
Yeah. I'm still hanging in there, I guess. I guess first thing I'm gonna do also is I'm gonna pull off my pack and I'm going to check to kind of just get an inventory of what I've still got. I know I dropped my bow, that's still down there. I gave the dagger to Pexor, and last thing I remember was trying to escape. So I'm just gonna dig into my pack and see if at least the claw glider key is still in there.
Okay.
I didn't look for a dagger, so
Yeah, I'll actually, because I'm pretty sure that I would have at least put it in my pack.
I got stabbed a lot. Are you sure it's not on me?
I got a 97 and a 34, Josh. So anything that you attempted to retain that you didn't physically say that you dropped during the last game, you still have on your character.
Okay, okay. So it looks like really the only thing I lost was maybe the dagger and the bow. So yeah, seeing that, I'll just kind of thank the lucky stars and I'll just kind of put it back.
I should have your bow with me because I picked up that and the shield.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, speaking of which, she goes in, the sword pauses over the ocean, and y'all's kind of looking down, and it's really a beautiful sight because a storm's going on, and the waves are crashing so hard, and you can see creatures off in the distance, swimming through the water. But she stops over an area and she says, "Oh, your friend is straight down here." She goes, "Let me use a magnetic spell real quick and pull him up to the top." And she goes ahead and she casts a spell. You're walking along the bottom of the ocean, Jared, and uh, what's so
The
crazy is
claw.
The claw. I have been chosen.
I have been chosen.
Remember me.
But sure enough, thing that you're carrying, including yourself, it just starts being pulled up, and you notice you're not walking on the bottom anymore, and you kind of like look up as you're being pulled up, and you pop out of the ocean, and you see this giant sword, right? And she pulls you up to the sword, and you're standing in front of all your friends, and she's standing there on top of the blade, about mid blade down. And like I said, I'd say the sword is about 3/4 of a football field long. It's probably about 200 feet long. She's standing on it with your friends, and she goes ahead and pulls you over, and you land on top of the blade. Uh, Josh, you do notice that he has your bow, and Frank, you notice that he has a shield, but he's also carrying a chest of gold.
He's
Yeah,
got
I'll
your bow and your shield. That must be my gold. Awesome.
at this point, honestly,
No.
I never want to get on a boat again. Please remind me if I ever have thoughts of getting on a boat. Just please, no, never
Tell you
again.
what, I'll give you
Boats are
some
fine
swimming
as long as
lessons
there's
next
not a
time.
chain attached to it dragging it down.
Yeah, or shady pirates. Yeah, definitely
Or
gotta.
on fire.
Yeah. So did you see anything down there? I mean, other than did you see where they went or
No,
Mal?
I didn't look for where they were going. I just gathered what I could find and started making my way to shore. Thankfully, I didn't have to walk all that way as I'm
Yeah.
like draining out water and everything. All around. Sure, there's like an octopus or a fish, and
Scraping barnacles off your leg.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well,
I haven't been
I
down there
must,
that long.
I must ask you, why did y'all all invade such a renowned pirate ship?"
They killed one of our friends and stole all our money.
I did
I
not
just,
know they
Yeah.
were renowned.
yeah.
Well,
I got the hat.
They were nobodies to me.
um, well, I did witness Pexor killing one of their own too. So wouldn't it be eye for an eye?
Okay, this again.
What?
You
We may have
said
been a part of an
nobody in the bar
instance.
saw it, and she was in the bar, so she didn't see it.
Well, she was said
saw
right there with y'all when y'all did it. She did see it because she got away because she was disgusted when it happened. I mean,
Okay,
right?
okay. I still say, you know,
Hold
mistakes were
up.
made. Defenses
But
were.
she could
I
she could
was
tell you were casting a spell as well, because she was right there.
Hector, you killed one of them
no,
before all this happened.
no. I never killed him because he came back. That's not death. You don't come back from
That's
death.
Just
that's
because
kind of
you
true.
don't know he could regenerate doesn't mean your intent to kill him wasn't valid at that point.
Well,
I
if they
think
murdered one of your
looking.
friends, I think it kind of cancels it out, doesn't it?
Thank you. And I say
And,
it
I mean, to
laconic.
be fair,
Thank you.
they nearly killed us all at that point. So I mean, I would I don't want to say that we're
Yeah.
even, but we kind
I,
of are even
I was trying to get ahead of the curve.
unknowingly.
Wait, so you're
But
saying you killed one of them before they killed ours?
I don't know the timeline, so I can't answer that.
So
I
why
look
there
was
over at
there
Othello.
may have been an incidents, but there was a lot of alcohol involved. Um, I mean, nobody in the
He's
bar really saw anything.
he started the
It was
fight.
very shocking. Um,
It was
I'm just happy to be alive, right? I mean, that was a very harrowing experience. That I mean,
Exactly.
were sharks. I mean, who would have thought that? I mean,
were
I
that's
mean, I
wild.
sharks?
was. Everybody asked where sharks, and I said
Wait,
they're
wait, wait,
sharks. And I'm
wait.
like, oh,
So they were were sharks?
Yeah.
See, I was
Yeah,
wondering
they bit.
why did y'all sink the ship and stay on the ship?
Oh, that wasn't us. Given a choice, I don't think we would have done that. But yeah, that was definitely a
That
trap.
was their doing.
look,
How many
I'm
of
not
them?
gonna lie.
How many of them
We're
were were
greedy.
sharks?
No. More importantly, though, they know about the claw glider. They have a benefactor.
Yeah,
That is that is
yeah.
their reason.
Wait, actually, did we ever figure out
What do
how they know
you?
about it?
Excuse me, Mister Half Giant. What do you know about the claw glider?
I
Well,
know that it is a
he's traveling
potential
with me,
threat to the
so
world, and Othello guards it.
Othello, I
yeah.
don't. Y'all didn't discuss the key at length, did y'all?
Um,
I don't think y'all
actually,
did, did
I
you?
don't know.
Did
Actually,
we?
because I know Mal knows for sure because we talked about the painting and everything, and he was there the night that my parents came in. So I don't know. Actually, I now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if we actually fully
Yeah, I think
discussed it.
Yeah, I think that I would
What
have
would
overheard
have
it in the
known?
bar because when you were talking to her, I would have overheard it. So I think,
True, yeah.
so I
You may
think,
have,
yeah, I
yeah.
think there's only one person that doesn't know
I
anything about it.
actually, yeah, because you were, wasn't you with the fight, and then you came back when all the stuff was going down, and we didn't have a chance to really discuss it, right? So
I
I
wouldn't
guess
even know that you had the key, huh?
yeah, I don't think so.
Probably, yeah. If when we were there, you're
The
She's
probably
like,
was
last
like,
thing I
"What was
knew
that?"
she's
about
like,
your
So
dude
the only
was
thing you would
that
know is what
you
the
had a
were sharks
tattoo
were
on your
saying.
hand.
she's like, well, let's go ahead and we'll discuss this out of the storm. Let me raise us above the storm. And she goes ahead and she picks the sword up. As y'all get closer to the cloud, a few lightning strikes hit the blade, but you can tell it has no effect on y'all. It almost seems like it charges it in a way, like it just absorbs it. She flies above the clouds, right? And it's pretty amazing because you got the full moon shining down on all of y'all, and you can see all the stars, but you also can see the top of the giant thundercloud storm that y'all's above, you know. And she's like, "Okay, now let's continue. I'm going to start heading in the direction. Y'all let me know when you want me to tell you what we're doing."
Now,
It's like, well,
So, well, I was gonna say, so the key, essentially, which I wasn't aware of this until just recently as well, but apparently my family and I have been running most of our lives, and we were the keepers of this key that houses this huge beast that could potentially end the world, as these things, occur.
so
Um,
I assumed that your mother was Madly, correct?
mhm.
Okay. So, as far as I know, she was banished from the council for taking the key. But before we get to that, was any of y'all bitten by any of those were sharks? Because we're in a full moon.
I'm good.
I didn't even get hurt.
All right.
Oh
I
It's
think,
no,
I mean,
I
everybody
might be
like,
changing.
I
like,
think I'm the
okay.
only one that actually got hurt that fight.
I
Well,
don't think any of them hit
I'm
you
just
though,
saying,
right?
like, it's like you just don't. I mean, I know it's probably sounds pretty cool becoming a were shark, but actually it changes your temperament as a person a lot. You become much more aggressive, and it changes you. So obviously, if you want to try to fix something, it'd be ASAP. Plus, I don't want you changing into a shark here on top of my sword. So I was just making sure if all of y'all safe and none of y'all were bitten and you don't think
Well, I
that you would
think one of
change.
the things I think
Can I add a game real quick? Like, do I feel weird? Because I know last session I did get bit in the fight, but I passed my fortitude save.
yeah.
Okay, I will say that
So,
you wasn't infected by the disease
okay.
or the curse.
I'm kind of looking at myself right now because
I think you're the
Why are
only
you?
one that got
I think
bit.
Yeah, why are you
I
scratching behind
gotta
your ear with your
go.
foot?
Hmm.
Oh no, I think I'm feeling a hunger for fish.
I pat his dorsal fin, which he now has.
Oh, it's
I'm
more badass.
transforming. Ah, now
War
I'll turn into a ring.
Warforged. That was good. That cracked me up. Good job.
You get experience points, Jared.
That's inspiration right there.
Yay!
so, Ladorn, you said that my mother stole the key and was banished from the council?
uh, they didn't know what her intentions were. That she stole the key and just ran, and she's been banished ever since. If she tried to return, they wasn't going to let her return, and they've been looking for the key.
Yeah, I'm worried if we can fully trust the council at this point. I I don't know who else could have known, and based on what you had told me before, I mean, you even said that yourself that you may not fully trust the other members, with this, that they may
Well,
want the destruction.
see, that's the thing is that there's going around the council that there's rumors that your mother might have been working with Armaxa and bringing the key to her. So you're saying that's not the case?
No. I mean, we've been running to prevent this. I mean, like I said, I mean, my whole life I've been running without even knowing it.
Yeah, I'll actually add on to that, and I'll pull out the head, and I'll say like we destroyed what we believe is one of her creations after it came to find us, and we are literally against her in every aspect of the word.
Hexor, was that? Did you pull that out of the head, out of the bag with the other heads in it?
I decline to answer.
I plead the fifth.
I look at Othello and we have a hushed conversation and say, my lawyer at this time wishes for me to remain silent.
Yep. No comment.
She's like, so you have the key upon you?
Yes. But I
Like,
kind of like when I say that, I kind of let her know subtly that don't try anything. Like, obviously I have some trust for her, but I just kind of like, not too aggressive, but just enough to be like, kind of maybe just back up a little bit, like, you know,
I don't know
I
how
just
aggressive
nearly
we can
died.
be.
So
even
yeah,
though it
Also
would,
on her sword in the middle of the ocean.
even though it would, the superior would be very glad if I brought the key back to them, obviously, being a stolen item of great importance. But since I'm taking you to them now, I have no reason to take the key from you or to try to. And obviously, there are some things you want to find out when you get there. So why don't we just go and see how everything pans out?
is there anybody on the council that you think that we should watch out for? Anybody that maybe is just a little bit too on the other side? Anybody that we may want to, watch our
Yeah.
words with?
Actually, what are like the local what is the local politicking of this group? Because Pex would probably get into that pretty deep too.
Okay. What it is we're just basically a group of mages that make sure that the elements of the world stay intact and nothing gets too far out of hand. Obviously, there was many of undead made recently and brought a lot of notice to the necromantic side of things. Therefore, I was sent to go tell the king that our Moxa is out there and she's causing great disturbances and raising a lot of dead, and we don't know who the next target is. So, and she's supposed to have these mechanoid beings, which is kind of understandable because she did create all the ones that we have at the tower. She's like, but what it is we're just trying to get a read on what she's trying to do, what items she has, and what her intentions are without putting anybody else in more danger. Obviously, we knew that she seeked possession of the key to the claw glider for some time, and the council wouldn't give it to her, right? Well, then Ormaxa lost her mind and she ended up leaving. But I think out of fear of her obtaining the key somehow, I guess, since you said her sister was on her side, she stole the key and left. But we all assumed since she was her sister that she stole the key for Omoxa when she left. So we didn't know what her intentions were either.
If I may ask, Lady Lodorn, how did Armoxa lose her mind?
We don't know. We know that she was talking about some great thing that was coming that she had to stop. She was going through some of the deepest, most powerful magics, and then at some point in time, she became overwhelmed. We don't know exactly what happened, but she totally changed, and she was pretty much insane and not even herself when she left. But
Was she plagued by nightmares?
we don't know. She wasn't mentioning anything. She was just acting erratic.
Really quick, whenever I know that this is a long time remembering, but at the very beginning of the game, whenever I saw that the uh not talisman, shoot, that the staff was gone, there was that empty rack where the staff was, and I asked my I guess supervisor as to what
Ragnavari.
it was. Yeah. Um and so by her saying that there's a large amount of undead being brought, I can pretty much safely assume that it is god damn the who have we been talking about this whole time?
Yeah,
My
that
brain.
experience. That's
Moxa?
what you're talking about.
Okay, so then okay, so I'll actually pipe up too and I'll say sorry, before I say this, whatever I asked, it was somebody broke in and stole it, or was it like a student stole it and then ran away?
He doesn't know
The
exactly
the
what happened. It's just the only item that's been taken under his
Okay.
care. No students look like they left. No one came. There was no footprints. The staff was just missing off the wall, and it was the first time he had ever had something stolen.
Okay, so then I'll pipe up and I'll say, there was the staff that Armoxis seems to have. It's what it was stolen from my school, the school where I came from. That's actually why I'm out trying to get it back. So I think because it's the only thing that's ever been stolen from this vault. There was no students missing, no noise, no idea how it was stolen. After all this, we may want to go back to my school and maybe ask a bit more, see if there was something that occurred to make her go crazy there, or how did she even get it, or maybe just any more information regarding this. That might be
So,
something we want to look into.
all right. So you're saying the source of her raising the undead, at least in that regard, is coming from the staff, you believe?
I believe, yes.
And this is of a necromantic school. What's the name of your school?
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Consortium of necromancy.
Okay.
Uh,
You go ahead and tell her the consortium of necromancy, and she's like,
well,
y'all
I
must
also
you must be hidden. She's like, I've never even heard of that school.
well, it's a fake name, so it's a for-profit school, so they call it a diploma mill. Don't really know what that means. Uh, but and I also know, or well, I had it written down as to what the staff was called, so I'll tell her the name as well, see if she recognizes it at
Okay.
all.
She goes, the Sea of the Dead.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of it. Never.
Okay.
If I
So I
may
think
ask,
hmm?
continue, Pixel.
I was just saying that I think then perhaps after this, it may behoove us to understand a bit more of this extremely powerful weapon that she has right now after we get more information as to the weapon that she wants to have.
I mean,
I'm
that
just
sounds
wondering
like the
on
best plan we've got right now.
I'm just wondering on how these things correlate and what her true intentions are. And I feel so bad for your mother. She's been so slandered at the school for the past 10 years. And this whole time she was never even joined up with our Moxa. That's horrible. I remember meeting your mother and she was so nice and no one understood why she would take it, but obviously, I mean, there are people of different interests within the Temple of Elements because we keep the balance. So there are people there that have negative interest in certain things. Whether they're backing our Moxa or not, I don't know. But if they are, they should definitely be found out because she has to be stopped. And if someone within the temple is working for her, then that just puts everyone there in grave danger.
Does anyone in your council deal with other worlds? Maybe walking between them in a corridor.
Actually, um, the superior is not even of this world. So if anyone would know of other worlds, it would be them.
Interesting.
Are you from another world?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are gonna
My
play all the
world
cards.
is gone.
I was going
I
to
am the
say
last.
you look very tan for a half giant. Most half giants I meet, they live up in the mountains, and they're very pale.
I'm one of the beach half giants.
Yeah. I'm a Costa Rican after my people were the dominant of our world. And
How did you wind up
I,
here?
a man who could walk those corridors came, and a giant eye appeared in the sky above our world. Our food was inedible. Our water was fouled, and there was chaos everywhere.
You say a
And it was
giant
all,
eye.
yes,
That's what her
and it was,
Moxa was talking about when she lost her mind.
see, that's why I asked if she was having nightmares.
Hmm.
That same man went after my sister.
I don't think it's by chance that you're here then.
I, true. I chased him, and then I fell through a void before I landed here.
You and your sister is here as well, you said?
She is. She is with the other half giants up in those mountains,
Hmm.
where I believe the perpetrator is as well.
He must be there hiding amongst the other half giants in the Hammer
And
Mountains.
if that's the case, I would assume he's also the one that has the mind of your Armoxa.
You think that he might be controlling our Mox's mind?
Sudden craziness and insanity are very telling traits, at least
The-
in my mind. It sounded similar, but if there was no one close to her, and if she was alone a lot and everything, a lot of her infighting, her bad dreams, and stuff like that could be hidden from the rest of her colleagues.
this entire time this discussion's going on, I'm just staring like mouth agape because I never heard any of this. Like a giant eye, a dude that jumps through dimensions. I'm like, what is this place?
The eye destroyed our world, and I barely even made it to the gate where that man went.
Before our Moxa before her mind went, she swore that an eye was coming to destroy the world. So, what can you tell me about this eye?
When you see it, it's too late. It encompasses all you see above you, and it destroys the very ground beneath you. There are, at least in on my world, there were signs before, like I said, with the food and the water.
Othello,
Could something
do you know of any reason why this thing would be tied into the claw glider?
I mean,
could
if you said she was trying to stop it, is she trying to use the claw glider to fight it?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, how strong is this? Could it be used to do that? And then
The claw glider
tied
is a
together.
the claw glider is immortal. It is an unstoppable beast. If anything could fight it, I would assume it would be as such, but why would she still seek the power of the claw glider if she's consumed? Is she stopping anyone else from releasing the claw glider if it shows?
She could be constantly fighting him, and in such driven her to an insanity of desperation. If
What do
she
you
saw no way to defeat the man in her dreams, the man constantly coming after her, she could break and then see the claw glider as the only means to stop an impending doom.
interesting. So, what can you tell me about the man in her dreams?
I believe he is my father, or a twin my father never told me about. He's a half giant like us. Looks exactly like how my father did. He was very kingly.
It makes me wonder
Hard.
if the eye is giving him power to destroy the worlds, or if he's summoning the eye. What's his purpose? Do you know?
I do not know. I would assume that my sister and possibly Armoxa, and then if that's the case, many others are. There might be something special within them. Maybe one on each world.
Me running into you was definitely not by chance.
No, like I said, it was fate.
Hmm.
What it's
Very
starting to sound
cruel
like.
fate. But my sister is being held in the mountains that are the home of your half giants. Hopefully, we speak the same language.
And you said she's infected with his brain disease as well?
To a point, yes.
So if we stop him, we could possibly cure Amoxa?
I do plan to test that theory with my very own sword.
If we stop him, does it stop the eye?
If the eye is a godlike entity, I think he might just be a herald. Maybe it'll be a little bit stronger than a pawn on a chessboard, but if he had the power in and of himself to destroy worlds, I don't see what much else is going to do. I don't see how the claw
All right.
glider.
This is very interesting. So since we're all meant to be here, my dear Warforged, what is your role in all this? How did you come about these people? You look like something of
And
our Mox's design since she made the ones that work in the temple. What is your purpose?
So if what Pierce is saying is true and she's still trying to fight against whatever this is, then perhaps my purpose is to help stop whatever it is. The way it seems to line up is because she made me, I was there, and then the next thing I know, Othello was freeing me from my box. And so perhaps I was not lost on accident, but lost on purpose so that I might be able to stop her in this plan.
So
If she's as
do you
smart
know of
as
the other mage uh, robot types that she has working for her at this time?
We have destroyed Secret, and we have left Mystery and nothing.
nothing.
Y'all managed to destroy one of them? I've heard they've laid waste to cities.
Oh yeah, I showed her the head already. Yeah,
Oh, you
remember
did?
we tried
Okay.
to show her that we're literally like against in every possible understanding of the word.
Okay, so that was one of her creations, and y'all's already
And
destroyed
that was
one.
hurt.
So how many remain that you know of?
Two.
That I know of, it's the two.
Technically 3, including you.
Well,
I wonder if since you were in the box in ring form, because I, I don't know, I feel like whatever's infecting our Moxa may have infected the others as well. I feel like if they have any semblance of intelligence like you do, they wouldn't be so quick to join her if she wanted to destroy the world. So maybe you
no,
were.
I don't know about Secret and Mystery, but nothing. He, from the very beginning, it sounds like he was violent and rash. So I believe that he was designed with that in purpose.
I'll ask. when you were made, did you see Armaxo? Did she say anything to you? Did you have any contact with her?
Yes, she
How
was
was
there
she?
whenever I awoke.
What did she seem out of sorts? Did she seem normal?
Compared to
I want to
the
say
few
me, but
people that I know,
yeah.
um, she didn't seem strange. Uh, Looking back on how she was talking to me and acting, uh, but then again, I wasn't specifically looking for anything out of place, being that I didn't really have an idea of what should have been in place.
She could have thrown you this direction, in the direction where she knew her sister was before she lost her own internal battle, in the hopes that you could
or
do what she couldn't.
or and this is well, actually, I'll no, I won't say that. I'll hold my tongue for a bit. But I immediately become very slightly suspicious. I just kind of sit there and go, I'll actually turn to Othello and say, like, how does the claw glider, what is the fuel of the claw glider? You say it's immortal,
I'm not even
but
sure myself. I mean, I just recently found out all of this from my family. I mean, I never knew that we were any sort of keeper of the key or why we were on the run. I didn't even know that we were on the run. I thought we were just traveling around as a family. I was ignorant.
okay, then I'll turn. Yeah, I'll trying to think of how I'm going to do this. I'll turn to the nice sword lady and say, "What does the can you answer that question as to what the fuel is? I mean, you all were essentially in guardianship of it, so I assume you would understand more about it."
All we know about the claw glider, it was this ancient metallic beast that was awakened in a mountain long ago. When it came out, it was unbridled, uncontrollable, and it was unkillable. So they had us all from the council find a way to seal it away forever. And then we placed that lock with the key so he'd never escape ever again and ravage the land. But I mean, it looks
Could
made of platinum, but I don't know what kind of metal it's made out of. But it's a giant winged metal bear that's literally the size of a castle, and it's
could
unstoppable.
could a massive burst of necrotic energy break the lock?
Actually, that's a good question. How do you even break the lock on this thing?
You have to
I
take it to
mean,
where they have the trap. There's a dimensional door that the key unlocks. If you go to the area and you use the key in the special spot, it unleashes the claw glider.
But but my can a significant burst of magical energy destroy that lock?
Possibly, I'm not for sure, but I wouldn't think that she would be seeking the key so much if that was possible for her. She seems like I got this feeling due to everyone that's hunting the key for her that she needs the key in some way, shape, or form to unleash the beast.
Then the only thing I can think about with the Sea of the Dead is if she's making an army to fight this thing as well.
yeah, I'm starting to wonder if she thinks she's in the right, like she's trying to fight it off, but in her own destructive way.
But that
Regardless, right now she's the enemy, because no matter what good she thinks she's doing, there's no world to save if you destroy it in the process.
well, Pexerol kind of sits and thinks. He goes, "What destruction has she done? There's a mountain, yes, but it seems like from my vision she didn't have control." I haven't heard of any large swaths of the undead forming, surging around the world. Hell, I haven't heard anything regarding the mountain either. The only thing I've seen as a product, I've only seen one thing as a product of what happened on that mountain. She's trying to 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 get the key for the claw glider in order to stop the thing that literally annihilated a world. Is she wrong? Is she in the wrong?
Or she could be getting the key to make sure no one could use it to stop it.
Exactly. We don't know. She hasn't made her. We don't know her true motives, so we don't know if she's under control or if she's fighting control. If she's truly insane, we have to
Well,
go into the
well,
assumption that she's not doing what's right.
no, I disagree because she seemed so focused on trying to prevent that eye. Remember, she that was one thing she kept saying, that it's coming.
So just
It's
because the enemy is quiet doesn't mean the enemy's not doing anything.
Well, when we fought the other creation of hers, didn't it say it wanted to bring destruction to the world? That's why I fired first. As soon as I heard that,
Yeah.
well from
instinct
also
kind of
what
took
we've
over.
heard. But from also what we've heard though, it wasn't that. It seems that each creation has a sort of set of characteristics of their own. Like what was said earlier, from the beginning he had, or one of her creations had destructive tendencies. Yet here we have here we have another creation of hers, and he's by all, by what seems to be normal. Would someone
Well,
who was would someone who was who wanted to destroy the world create this, something that has no ill will?
Well, don't we know from Stone
so
Scribe that the temple was destroyed by her other creations?
But that's what I'm saying though. The My question is,
think, Exor, think. Let's go into the assumption that she has fallen under the same ailment as my sister, as in the mastermind behind this is trying to take her over. When malediction was made and everything, she could have been fine. But over time, she could lose.
but wasn't he the last of her creation?
Yes, we also have no timeline for when he was made. He could have been made 100 years ago.
Could have been having countless dreams.
All malediction really remembers is dreams, and there's no time within those dreams. So let's say she did have good intentions and everything. They're not so good now.
Yeah, I feel like she truly thinks she's doing good, and but she's leaving a path of destruction that's taking a lot of innocent lives. So I do understand her point of view in some ways, but at the same time, like, I mean, Ladorn, I don't even know if my parents are alive. When the Dwarven temple was attacked, they were there, but I was away, so I don't know if they're alive or not.
Actually, with the on that note, with the tattoo on the back of your hand, did that? Oh no, that went away with the key when you
Yeah,
said
the
went
the key.
away
That's
with
key.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Scry them.
I think really hard.
So I think what we're gonna have to do is shelve the morality and everything of this debate, and then we have to go with the assumption that right now she's bad. And if we want those answers, we have to find her. Put a stop to it and ask her herself. Because even the council doesn't really know because she's gone AWOL.
Well, someone of
Yeah.
her
And if
power, I'm
we
sure you're only going to get one chance at that.
better make it a good chance then, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that y'all's left out? Anything y'all can think of? Points, things
Yeah,
that you might have heard?
I'm trying to look at my notes, but I can't find it. I remember the name of one of the cat folk that attacked us in the beginning. Do you remember their names? I know there was at least one that I knew of.
Nimbra was the one on the note.
Nimbra, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring that up. I'll be like, because I'm pretty sure I overheard him saying that, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense with the context we have now, but he was wanting to take the key back to the council. So I'm assuming the council members might have hired him and his group to find us.
Yes,
And
there's many of those type catfolk, and I do know of Nimbra. He actually works for a specific fire sorcerer that's part of the council. Him and his little band of brigands. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the fire side of the temple, but they are rash.
little
yeah,
What
little
side
hot
are you
headed.
on?
Do you think possibly they might have crooked intentions, or
I think we don't know who the enemy really is.
yeah, I mean,
And
because
so any
like
information should be filtered.
yeah, because I know, looking back on it, I assumed that they just wanted to kill us. I mean, they were very violent, but of course we would fight back. But I just, at the time, I didn't know what was going on. With the context that I have now, they could have just been doing their job. I don't know.
Well, and if they thought your mother was a traitor,
Exactly. Yeah.
then
If there was so much slander going around, I mean, in a way, I can't blame them. They weren't aware. They were ignorant just as much as I was, in a way.
It was a
that's a
magic user, right?
that's definitely a lot to ponder on. Thank y'all all for being so forthcoming with the information. This has helped so greatly, and I feel like that some of you just found out things about yourselves. So obviously, this has all brought us together so much more.
Oh, actually, one more thing as well. My mother had mentioned that our Moxa tried to steal her power. I mean, that's part of the reason that she was as afflicted as she was. She had to communicate in sign and was very, like she was.
It was
So,
it was known around the temple that Armaxa did take your mother's power.
so it makes me wonder why. Was our Moxa just wanting more power to try and fight this thing, or does she have more nefarious, you know,
And was it
plans?
before or after she lost her mind?
Yeah, I can't say.
Hmm.
Yes, I also don't know the differences of time between your world and mine. My falling through the void could have been years, or could
So
have been
you are
just a
saying
second.
that if the eye comes, it's too late?
It was for us.
How quickly did the end of the world come after it showed itself?
Hour or so. It popped up when I was chasing him, and it showed after he had captured my sister.
So he was there for your sister before he destroyed the world?
Yes.
And you're saying he could be your father's twin?
Twin, maybe a doppelganger, or maybe it's just by chance and he was somebody who looks like my father but from another world.
And you said she had dreams of the end before it came?
Yes, and dreams of the man,
And that
and
begs the question too,
she would be
like,
possessed at night.
yeah, why would he save her in a way, right? If he knew the end was coming,
Exactly.
why would he save her?
I doubt
Unless,
it's I doubt it had anything to do with knowing the end was coming, and more so what was potentially in her blood. Our family is royalty, and
So if
I'm
we take all
sure
her blood,
my father had
okay.
secrets that he would not tell me.
If we take her blood,
Back.
he's powerless.
Yeah, that usually happens to somebody if you take their blood.
I've got it, guys.
We got to
I don't
find
know,
a
I
Just
giant
like
mosquito.
take a syringe, hook it up to a vacuum.
Yeah.
Vacuum.
Look, all it sounds like is I now know how to beat everybody. Take all their blood and we're good. Maybe I can summon a vampire.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that's a general strategy.
Yeah.
for-
And we
Not
just
their
found
heads, they're
out.
powerless.
Yeah. We just found out that Frank has vacuums on his planet.
Yeah. That's how the servants kept
He
All right.
did have.
Did have. Yeah, that's why the world was destroyed. We reached an age of technology that was unprecedented.
Yeah.
So we had to
Okay.
be wiped clean.
As y'all discuss everything at length and you travel above the storms, you continue on, and then finally, off in the distance, you see the sun start to rise. And she's like, "Oh no." She's like, "I knew when I turned around and I had to go get your other friend that we're probably not going to make it. We're going to have to walk a little bit to the temple, everybody. The sun's rising." And y'all notice as the sun starts coming up, the sword starts shrinking, you know, and she starts
Start taking
flying
her
it.
down.
She starts flying it down to the ground.
What happens if I cast darkness?
Well, then it's going to block
Somehow it
off the
doesn't-
moon entirely, and then you're just going to be totally screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not using. Yeah, I guess you're right. I was gonna say the sun's not
I
touching
think
it.
it's using the moon more so than nighttime. Okay.
But sure enough, y'all float all the way down, and you land on the ground, and you step off of the sword, right? And it shrinks down to its normal size, which is still kind of hefty looking for her. It's a really big sword.
Is it as big as my sword? Because mine is a giant long sword.
Y'all's going to compare swords, are you?
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
yeah,
Sword
I'm gonna
measuring
try to
time,
eye it real
boys.
quick.
Flip
I'm
them
gonna
on the
make it
table.
obvious, you know, but I am gonna see. Does she have a bigger sword than I do?
It'd be ironic if she did.
Go ahead and roll percentile for me, Frank.
All right. Ought 4.
Okay, she got a 74, so yeah, it's a little bit bigger than yours.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Dang.
As we
But
As
the
we
way
go-
the way she pops it up on her shoulder, it looks light, like it looks like it's weightless to her.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. As we're coming into the as we're coming into shore, I stand and go, "Cowabunga, dudes!"
Oh,
Weird you
before
say that.
actually, yeah, before we took off, I'll whistle or call out to Eggs. Is he still alive,
Eggs.
around, or?
He comes out of Ladorn's, her backpack.
You
Yeah,
got bacon in there too?
poor Bacon.
She pulls him out.
Bacon is probably bacon by now, but anyway,
We still gotta go
Dude,
back
that
to the town.
poor guy, he's still in the city.
but I'm gonna say when you go to call your bird, Josh, you can sense it. It's about 2 miles away from you, right? But it's heading your direction.
Okay.
It'll
What's the
definitely.
sound you make when you call it?
Just a whistle, nothing
Oh,
fancy.
dang it.
Just a whistle.
Hey, I thought it was gonna be some
Breakfast.
Yeah.
soup's on.
He just has a cowbell he takes with him everywhere.
Yeah.
He's just like.
Do any of y'all need to stop and eat before we continue on to the council?
I don't
I'd
think
like to
any
probably.
of the food we have on us is any
Man,
good.
I'm famished.
Yeah.
See,
Good.
I told you he's got like this leather sack of a stomach in there. He probably has leather lungs.
He just
I've
drank
seen
some.
him
He
eat,
drank some
damn
motor
it.
oil.
Yeah.
Oh wait, gotta change the spark plugs. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Oh man, this is generic brand motor oil.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what happens when you eat the 1 copper tavern ale.
She's like, well, it's still a few miles to the council, so if y'all'd like to stop and eat real quick, now's the time.
What are we
Yeah,
gonna
sure.
eat? All our food soaking
Soggy
wet.
rations. That's all I've pretty much got on me.
If you mash it, it turns into oatmeal.
You may. No. First off, that's salt water. So I
Oh,
don't
true.
think
Yeah, true. I didn't even think of that.
It's natural flavoring.
natural. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go and
Is there like fruit trees around? You know,
is there like a
like a coconut or something? Mango.
do we see so we're on shore, right?
Y'all got way past shore. She landed on the road,
Okay.
so
I was gonna ask if we
On
see
the
a
road.
small girl selling seashells that we can buy food from.
I mean, if we're gonna take a minute, I can maybe just try and look around to see if I can find anything, forage anything, or find something that's edible.
Othello, if you could find some fruit, I know women like fruit, so that'll earn you some points with her. Okay.
I'll keep an eye out. But yeah,
Here.
if I can, yeah, I'll just I'll grab my bow from
She's like,
Mal
so
and I'll
y'all
just
have
thank him.
nothing to eat? She goes, I have stuff you can eat.
Uh, I mean,
I
unless you
would,
want to eat a soggy saltwater ration, and I just kind of like wring it out a little bit.
I wouldn't want to impose on you, lady. We should be able to make it. We're all men, I think. I
Oh,
mean, one
it's
of us is wearing a dress, but we're
All
all men.
right, I fucking knew this was coming up.
well, here's the thing. Y'all are doing me a favor by sharing with me all this information, and we're traveling together. So what's mine is yours. So let me go ahead and see what I got in here. She pulls out a couple of bags of rations, and she also pulls out a few fruits. Some you recognize, some you don't. And she's like, "Oh, that's bad." She tosses it the other way, and she just makes a little pile of food sitting there. And she's like, "You are welcome to this if any of you are hungry."
We, so I will let them eat first, and then I'll eat all the rest.
They don't leave
Yeah, I'll just
anything
pick out
for
a
you,
few
Frank.
things. Yeah, I'll just pick out a few things because
I'm a
I mean,
hungry
I know,
boy.
yeah, I know there's a lot of us here that have to eat, so I'll just, you know, enough that I
Man,
think,
I'll hand an
I can.
apple to my addiction. Listen, you need the energy. It's a
I
joke,
mean,
buddy. Okay, I'm trying.
but yeah, I'll just
I
grab a
don't,
few
I
things.
don't know if you're smiling in that tin can of yours, but can Jared smile? Can his like can he make facial expressions?
I know he's got the whole Groot thing going on. I don't know.
I don't I don't know if his character can actually make facial expressions, or unless he's just like a rectangular robot face that when he talks his eyes light up.
When he
It just
smiles, you
depends
you
on
hear a squeak.
right.
A
It
grinding
just
of
depends
metal.
on how intricate Armaxa designed the face and everything.
So that's up to you. If you want to be able to smile, you can.
That'd be a creepy smile, though. I'll be honest.
Right.
The Joker
Just
toxin
basically,
style.
basically full helm, and the place just like.
We're gonna go with no. No, there's no facial expressions for
Oh,
me to emote. I'm going to have to put it into my voice and use hand
Okay.
gestures.
Oh no, you're gonna say what emotion you're using at the beginning of every sentence.
Joy.
Joyfully, I say thank you.
how are you so good at poker? God.
Yes, I am anticipating something. I actually, Pexor he'll grab like a little something, but he won't eat it yet. He's still just a little wary of her.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and eat.
She can poison me. I'm too strong.
Famous last words.
Yeah, right.
Hold my sword.
Pexor's like, I trust no one. That's awesome. Very good. All right.
All right.
Characters, go ahead and you finish eating. Y'all get everything together and you start heading down the road towards the temple. It's about 3 miles away, but about a mile and a half away from it, you start seeing it off in the distance. From what you can see on this side of the temple coming up to it, you can tell that one side of it is woodland, and the other side of it, this side of the temple, is water. So two of the sides you can see is woodland and water. It's almost like uh, plants and everything and woodland stuff's going down the side. One side of it's green, and the other side's just a big waterfall coming off the temple.
Hey, I got a wand that'll help with the wood problem.
Sure, you still got that wand.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it, so but I got it.
As y'all get closer, you come upon where the road turns into a stone pathway, right? And it's really ornate stonework, beautifully done. Uh, on the left side, when you come up, you notice everything gets really greener. You see a plethora of magical plants and trees, and real or rare mythical forest creatures of many shapes and sizes, right? Including a few of the smaller cat folk that you've seen before, Pexor and Josh, right? They're not the exact ones that gave y'all any issues, but one of them is what looks to be a druid because it's wearing like a uh, flowery type headdress or whatever, and it's teaching a class to some of the other little cat folk, house cat folk. On the water side, you see many aquatic beings and animals, and that huge waterfall coming down from the tower and splashing. It's like a lake all the way up to the stone walkway that y'all's walking on, right? So obviously it's a smaller lake attached.
Do I, whenever we see all this woodland stuff, do I recognize any and have like some sort of like flashback from my time in the elves whenever before I went to the um, necromantic school?
Uh, Go ahead and roll a knowledge check for me, just flat, whatever your bonus is for intelligence.
15, 17. Sorry.
Okay. It's been a long time since it's been like 50 years since you've been around there, but you did recognize quite a few different elven species around there, but there's so much to look at, you did see those, but I mean, you saw so many animals that you hadn't seen before on both sides, and just when you'd concentrate on one side, something had happened on the other and you'd look over there. It's like very vibrant, a lot of stuff going on both sides as you're walking down the path. She says, she goes, "Oh, I see that y'all's taking to both sides here." She goes, "Actually, there's two sides on the other side of the temple, the fire and the air side as well."
Armoxa, do you belong to the air side of things?
Ladorn?
Ah, yes, my bad. I apologize.
She goes, she's like, "Oh, did you guess that because I had the brilliant ability to fly through the air here?"
Yes, I
I
did.
think
On a
I
Even
think
though,
sword.
even though that the sword has nothing to do with my ability, I am one of the air sorcerers.
I think he was erring on the side of caution.
Ooh,
Ah, oh,
Woo!
I'll give you a
Can't
3
survive
on a
my
1 to
zero.
10. That's how many points you get from me.
404 error, joke not found.
I'm like, oh man, we gotta upgrade that database, kid.
What is this funny you speak of?
As y'all approach the big doors at the front, and they're pretty much they stop. You see several statues of different mages and stuff, but the stairs start, and you see the statues going up the sides of the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, you see the huge doors. You'll start heading up the stairs, and the big doors open, and a large figure comes walking out of them. Uh, anybody or everybody, I'll see if you know what it is. Um, I guess it would be a knowledge check from all y'all, and just tell me what y'all get. I'm gonna give it a DC of 17.
Are we just rolling intelligence or like
Yeah, just
specific?
intelligence with your.
I got a 19.
21.
I got a
Okay.
10.
Okay.
14.
14. Okay, anybody that didn't roll with 17 or better, y'all have never ran into an ogre mage before, but an ogre mage walks out of the doors, right? They're kind of standing tall, right? They have fluorescent fluorescent glowing purple hair, right? And it's standing at the top with its robes and its hands in its robes and waiting for Ladorn to approach it. As Ladorn and all of you walk up to it, uh, he says to her, he's like, Ladorn, we noticed your sword arriving in the distance from the sea. I recall you was delivering a message to the king. Did everything go according to the superior's wishes? She's like, Ladorn answers yes, and then she calls him Drenaz. She says, or he's like, excellent. And who are your friends? And she goes, or he goes, and who are your friends? He goes, they do know that this tower is restricted to those that are not of the council or members of the Elementus. Ladorn's like, there's been some unforeseen change in the winds, it seems. Othello here is here to speak with the superior. His mother, Madley, an ex-council member, and then Drenaz says, ah, yes, one that was casted out, I do believe, for stealing the key of the claw glider. Does he have information pertaining to such? Ladorn says, we shall see. And he's like, well, good. That's enough for y'all to enter at least. We'll see what your true intentions are. And he turns around and he waves his hand and the doors open and y'all start walking in. Is there anything y'all want to say or do as of right then?
Lance,
Yeah.
were ogre mages known and a thing on my world?
Yes.
Everything?
But I will say
Okay.
that you only knew them as evil beast. Like
Evil?
predominantly
Okay.
they're predominantly evil, and it's weird for you to see one and him or it be acting like a gentleman. You can't tell the sex of it just by looking at it.
Right.
Do I recognize the name?
Hexor, you guys really switched places, didn't you?
What? I don't get
Dexter,
that.
so you did you did roll high enough to know what they were, right?
Yeah, I got 19.
You got 19. Okay. I'll give you. Let me see if you'd have a chance.
I was saying that, Michael, because you're an
65% chance. 98.
necromancer
You
that
you
likes to
never
get
heard of him.
drunk.
You never heard of
He's an
Drenaz.
ogre mage gentleman.
Ah, well, okay. It's all right. I'd say, never mind. I'll keep it PG for those watching. It's a family show, guys. It's a family show.
As you enter the tower and you walk through the corridor at the beginning, but then you come into the main room, right? You see that the room is divided by the colors of the elements, and you also see lots of mages off in the distance using different magical items of sorts, doing different stuff. Um, Tower bookcases are lining the walls, and also there's a great star charter in the center of the main room, right? Where you can see all the stars in their positions. You also notice that there are a few uh, warforges of maledictions type. You see them working on small things, or either that or holding like books for one of the mages and stuff. None of them look like they're operating on their own, except if they're cleaning or servicing something.
I'll go over and look at what some of the books are.
Yeah, malediction. It's like a family reunion.
Why are they speaking in binary?
Okay, you go over and you look at the books, and you don't come across any spell books per se right off the bat. You do read over several books about magic, certain magical creatures, stuff like that. Like book over hippogriffs, a book over the plague that went over the certain country a while back. Uh,
Actually, can I refine my search? I actually meant to say this, but I forgot to. I was gonna look for anything on the Sea of the Dead or Griffin Heart or Griffin Stone. That's what I have.
what was the Griffin Stone again?
The Griffin Stone was that like clear stone with red liquid inside that I pulled out of
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing it back. Episode 2, baby.
Okay, so um, I will say that you find a book over stones, but it's like a really massive book, and you start thumbing through it. You did
Go with the
not find
index.
you did not find a book over that. Uh, you go to the index and you start reading that over. As he goes over to the books, the ogre mage turns around and he tells y'all, he goes, well, I'm going to go up to the superior and I'm going to see if he's willing to have an audience with you. This is obviously a sensitive matter since his mother was banished, and I do believe it was your aunt that's in question for trying to destroy all these towns as of recent. So we don't know what you're up to being here, and it's kind of a risky case. So if you're planning on seeing the superior, I have to check with their wisdom and make sure they're okay for you to come up and talk to them. I will return shortly. Uh, they
Understandable.
they walk over to this magical lift, step upon it, and it lifts them up to this other area in the tower.
All right.
I'm gonna look
Well,
around. Does anybody other than the Warforged that are around, does anybody like watching us or like suspicious or anything like that? Or
Um, what you found out about that stone, real quick, and then I'll get right back that to you, Josh. What you found out about that stone, real quick, is you found out that it can increase vampiric powers, right? So if you drain life, you can turn. If you drain life in any shape or form, you can make that stone into a magical item that increases that ability all the way up to max, depending on how well it's made. So it can increase the spell effects of vampiric spells
Yeah.
or vampires draining life in general. Um, Josh, as you're looking about and you're trying to scope the area and seeing what's everything's going on, you actually see Nimbra and his other cats way off in the distance on the fire side of the room, and they're standing there with the larger fire mage. They're already looking at you when you see them. He goes ahead, the fire mage leans over and he says something to Nimbra, and they all turn and go into the door that leads to the fire corridors after they see you.
okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of note that in my mind. A little bit of bad blood there, so
Jared, you do notice several more of your creature type working around on stuff. I don't know if you'd want to interact with one of them.
creature type, meaning service robots.
I have a feeling that they are no siblings of mine.
Oh, malediction has a bit of elitism in it.
I will say, you see a gold one that is directly servicing a mage, right? Uh, they are better dressed than the other ones, right? And they look similar to your make. Just letting you know. But if you want to approach them or not, it's up to you.
Hey, Malediction, you want to come with me and look with stuff and maybe translate some things for me? Because I can't read anything here because it's in a different language.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Plus, this place is awfully interesting. You want to join Othello? You look like you're brooding at the fireside over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
I know.
I'll look through
When
some books.
Yeah, whenever you do look at Othello, you see that he's kind of frozen. Like he kind of sat there for a moment and he's unmoved until you speak to him, and then he kind of like shakes loose and looks at you.
Right.
But yeah,
Let's go look around, young hero.
Let's do it. Is there anything in particular we should look for? I mean,
I have no
besides.
clue. I can't. Like, I'm sure that sign over there says something. I have no idea. These bracers the dwarves gave me only allowed me to speak and understand your language, not read it.
Yeah. Let's look around then. I guess the short time that we have, what do I want to look for? I guess any information on the claw glider, anything, just legends, poems, tales, whatever I can find on it.
okay. You do find a book of the Claw Glider.
Does it have any? Is there anything new that I don't already know, or any other details or anything like that?
Um, you found out that the way they had to uh, distract the beast was now they said that they had to use a mixture between air magic and sonic magic, right? To make it more forceful, and that was the only thing that could distract the beast long enough for it to trap it, was to pretty much um, make the sonic so powerful that it started irritating it. Uh, uh, Two mages did die in the attempt of that though, because of the blowback from the sonic from the spell. Eviscerated a couple mages. Um, it did keep
So what
the
you're saying though, what you're saying though is they effectively trapped the claw glider by playing Through the Fire and the Flames on air guitar.
yeah, you have to mix, metal with air on the air guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you get from the book. It mentions the towns that the claw glider destroyed. It mentions the mountain that it erupted from. Uh, it also has a detailed picture of the claw glider, which you've already seen. It talks about the key. It has a picture of the key and everything. And I will say, even when you thumb towards the end, it mentions how the key was stolen. It mentions your mother and everything. And it kind of gets sad as you're reading over that section because it labels her as a traitor, and says that she's in service to the evil or Moxa that was tainted by dark magic. And now they're in league to release the claw glider and destroy the world with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at that, once I start getting to that point, I'll just kind of slam the book and just push it away from me and just kind of take a breath.
Okay. Frank, you was wanting him to look up something specific?
Uh, baby dragons and where to buy them. I don't know. So like this place is really interesting, and I'd want to learn a lot about it, but I don't know. Like it's part of like I don't know where to start. I don't know where I'm allowed to read. Slash, I can't even read anyway. Is there any books actually that I do understand? Like, is there any like titles on the spine and everything that I may be able to understand because there may be written in my home language?
Boy, that would be rare, wouldn't it?
Right?
I'm gonna give it a 2% chance.
Oh man, I rolled a 99. How about that?
Oh, I was gonna roll for it.
It's
47. So no, you do not.
Dang
Uh,
it.
they got
These
lots of
are all
pretty.
written in the These are all written in the peasant tongue.
The peasant tongue.
Yeah, I'll look around for a baby dragon book or something on dragons.
Because, like, I don't know. Like, my character's fascinated with dragons, but it's like, I don't know what exactly to look up. You know, I can't read anything, so I'm kind of relying on others.
Well,
The
what I'll
place
say is that
looked real nice.
when you're younger over dragon riders from your planet, right? And they were from
Mhm.
this other distant land, and there was no dragons on your continent per se. But you always found it interesting that people could tame such a beast. So you asked him to
Right.
get a book about
No.
dragons.
Right. I'm interested in these Japanese dragon riders.
Anyway, you do find a book over dragons, Josh, and you start reading it over to him and stuff like that. Uh, you it seems like the dragons in this world are so proud, and whenever Frank mentions to you that they used to ride him they used to
Yeah.
over in his world, it kind of shocks you because you're reading about the dragons right there, and yeah, it doesn't mention that people would let them ride them or anything like that. And in fact, they're either epically wise or extremely ferocious, and you don't see anybody that would be able to tame such a beast to let them ride it. But you find it interesting him talking about it happening on his world, and you
Right.
wonder if it's a
I'm
possible
assuming
thing
this might
here that
be
could have been done.
right. Well, I mean, it's also like, quite embarrassing probably for my character to have basically Othello read me a bedtime story in public.
I don't know though, because I mean, I'm intrigued too, because I mean, like I've heard stories and stuff of dragons, but to have a book that's actually talking about them and everything, I'm intrigued as well. So I'm kind of reading it with glee, you know.
So basically, what we're discovering, Lance, is that the dragons seen in her tales out of my world are fundamentally different in, I guess, personality
Mm-hmm.
than the dragons of this world.
Yeah.
All right.
The dragons on your world, they're more raised as steeds and stuff, and they don't seem like some of them can speak, but even those that can, they're more loyal to their riders and stuff. To hear of independent dragons and none of them being tamed, it's a different concept for you.
Right.
Wait, did I ever find a book on the Sea of the Dead, or did I just find the stone book?
You went
I
to
rolled
the.
for it, and I didn't see that you found a book over Sea of the Dead, but
Oh,
you
okay.
did find a book discussing necromancy
Oh,
artifacts, but it didn't have that in there.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to pocket that or what.
Oh, I could just take books.
No, but
Oh.
Well,
I
you
was
could
like,
take it, but
yeah, I was like,
He's just
okay.
prepared just in case you decide to do something illegal.
yeah. In the Tower of Mages.
Yeah, hey, knowledge should be free. I'm making a stand, guys.
That's where you're allowed to read it, not take it.
I'm disseminating knowledge to those who may not be able to. I'm like an intellectual Robin Hood, guys. I don't think you guys know that yet.
Okay. Sure enough, all see the elevator, well, the floating piece of stone, come back down from the top of the tower, and you see the ogre mage sitting upon it. And when it lands, he just stands there looking at you and waiting.
I
that
go up.
might be our cue, and I'll just kind of shelve the books back and
Yeah.
start
Lead the
walking up.
way. Lead the way, hero Othello. This is your show now.
Okay. You hear me very shaky say, but okay, yeah, let's do this.
Hey.
We'll pat him on the back, and it'll be like one of those hard pats
Yeah,
that
I'm like,
just send him tumbling forward because
Hey.
he
As you
weighs a buck
approach,
20.
as you
Just
approach,
remember, confidence. Ladies and wizards love it.
confidence.
We are
Especially
right
lady
here with you,
wizards.
friend fellow.
Yeah, confidence, confidence.
If
First
I
ever.
gotta lie, just shoot me a look. I'll lie. I don't care. Shit, man. I'll say yes. The perfect wingman always just says yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All
as you
right, yeah,
approach
let's do
him,
this.
the ogre mage, he says, "I sincerely apologize for the denial of your request." He goes, "But the superior says he cannot trust your intentions because your mother is still banished, and Armaxa is still known for her evil doings, and them being so related to you. But if you had a gesture of goodwill, as you could possibly bring us back the key, you might be able to see the superior."
Mm.
Well,
All right. I guess we're done
It,
here.
How about a picture of the key? If I draw you a picture, is that okay? An
well,
IOU?
so obviously there's been a lot of talk about my mother and what she, may have may not have done, but and take this as you will, but I obviously am biased in some ways, but I can assure you that she did take the key, but I think it's because she thought that somebody else might take it first. So she wanted to get the initiative before it was taken. And I can't give you the key right now because I'm afraid that we just can't trust everybody. We kind of just fell into a trap a little bit ago. Long story, ship, we're sharks. We'll get into it. But
You can't
I
give
have a
me the key
feeling,
right now, so you know where it's at?
yes, I do.
Well, here's the thing: the superior is of a neutral intelligence and doesn't lean towards one way or the other. It just seeks the protection of all the people in the land and for our tower. So if you'd like to approach it, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't go to take it from you, but if you want to return it as a goodwill, you know. And Ladoran steps up at that time and she's like, "I will vouch for them. I've done spoken here with Othello, and I know that he has no malice intent towards anyone. And also, I might have new information that would help the superior in knowing that his mother was actually innocent in her intentions in taking the key. That there might even be corruption in the temple." And she looks around a little bit and she's like, "Trust me, they deserve an audience with the superior." And he goes, "If the superior treats them fairly enough, maybe they can retrieve the key for him, but they don't know the intentions of the superior either." And he's like, "That is true. Well, that is good enough for me. Will all of you all step onto the slab, please?"
I'll do right before I step on, I'll take a quick look at where the Nimbra and the others went. Are they still out of sight?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, knowing that, I'll step up.
Okay.
Axor, you better get rid of this hiccup spell you put up on me. It's not funny anymore.
Make me.
Okay. Once you gain audience, you travel up to the magical power lift up to the chamber of the council. Uh, when you arrive up there, you see the superior, and they're standing off to the side, looking at over something. You notice that it has multiple arms. It has a paly skin without a face, and it doesn't look like any creature that you've ever seen before. None of y'all.
Is he
You
looking
said,
towards
you said
us?
multiple arms?
Yep. They also have a shimmering robe on, but their chest area is exposed, right? you can see kind of through their body, right? And you can make out some of the organs, but they don't look like what you'd perceive organs to look like for normal creatures of this planet.
Guys, I've cut open a lot of dead people, and that's not what the insides of them look like.
They
Yeah.
also have a tall a staff that is multicolors of wood, looks like intertwined with one another, right? And on the top of the staff, it has a plump, fat type imp sitting on it, and it's asleep, snoring.
What is he?
So is he looking toward? Is it looking towards us?
Yes, as you look, you can tell it was fiddling with something, but as you come up, it turns and it faces towards you.
So I will bow
Yeah,
as
seeing Pierce
per
bow, I'll
decorum.
immediately also bow.
Okay. He comes up and or it comes up and it waves towards y'all to come near it.
Okay, I'll start walking up.
I got your back.
You can do it.
As you approach it, it looks at you and it's like, ah, you resemble your mother greatly. I remember madly. It's like, too bad she took the key, and her sister. What are your intentions here? Have you brought me the key? And Ladorn didn't come up with y'all, right? She stayed down
Yeah.
below. She wasn't allowed to come up. And
Yeah, I'll
the
just or go ahead. Go ahead.
the ogre mage comes out and says, Ladorn speaks greatly for them. He says that he doesn't have the key, and does blah blah, or it says he doesn't have the key, and but he is trustworthy, and that his mother was framed in her intentions, that she did not mean to harm anybody by taking the key. In fact, that there's some sorry, that there are people in the temple that would probably be working against our best interest. And the superior puts their hand out in front of Othello, and they're like, he has the key on them, or on him. And he's like, do you not trust me?
I've never met you, Superior. I apologize, but it seems like there's many enemies, and I'm not sure who to trust.
Hmm.
I'm here to say, though, that my mother had good intentions. I truly believe that she took the key to possibly prevent someone else taking it. I
Hmm.
mean, uh,
I do
just seeing,
remember. I do remember that your mother's powers were stolen, I believe, by her sister, and we didn't know the specifics of that. But I will say that she didn't leave, or when she left, she didn't tell anyone of what her true intentions were. I can sense from you now that you are not evil, nor do you have negative intentions against me. But truly, why are you here?
I guess, information to try and find our allies. I mean, unfortunately, Madeline Breen, my mother and father, I don't know if they're still alive. And if I have to continue the legacy of holding on to this key, I want to make sure that I know who to trust.
Hmm. I do know that Amaxa does seek the key. That is obvious. And you carrying it on you, I sense that you're trying to keep it from her. Hmm. So your intentions
Yes,
are pure. I don't know if you have a power enough to prevent her from taking the key from you, though, and therein does lie a great danger.
I worry that if the key was to remain here, this place would just be a target. We've
Hmm.
kind of seen what Armoxa has done to those that slight her or, who she thinks might have the key. And if it remains here, I don't know if you'll be able to stop her either.
So you believe that some of the council members could possibly be corrupt?
I can't say for certain, and obviously I mean no ill will towards the council at all, but I have a sneaking suspicion based on my mother's actions and my father as well that they may have had reason to believe that there is someone, many people in the council that they obviously couldn't trust to hold the key.
The superior grabs their chin and they float up off the ground a little bit and they say, I shall have to ponder on this. And they float around the room gently, and you see their robes blowing in the wind as it comes around the room and it goes into a full circle. And they come back to you and they're like, there is a great chance of this. Our Moxa did become infected with whatever poisoned her underneath our roof. I don't know if it infected others. You are right to be paranoid of us not keeping the key. I just don't know what we should do. I mean, I would assume that we'd have a greater chance of protecting it here, but if I let it go with you, then I risk the claw glider destroying the world again. I still don't know of her true intentions. What can you tell me about this key and what she might want to do with it?
I believe that she may
So,
have. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll just kind of back up a little bit.
Lord Superior, was your world destroyed as well?
No, my world still stands.
Then you must know that mine is gone. From your vast knowledge, I'm sure you've heard of an eye that encompasses the sky.
I've heard of such a being, but never seen it. Yes, there
Well,
is a great eye that does destroy worlds. Do you know of such a being?
be grateful that you have not. I am Lord Piercingstone of House Steelback, and I am one of the last of my world.
You actually remind me of the half giants of Locrax.
I believe one of your answers is lying there, hiding. I believe what has affected our Moxa is the same thing that has affected my sister, in that there is a man behind it that shows up in dreams and corrupts, possesses, and turns insane.
So you're saying Moxa isn't herself in these actions. That would make so much sense because she was such a valuable asset to the tower. And then all of a sudden she
It
become enthralled in these studies. She wouldn't mention anything to anyone. And then she started losing her mind. And then I believe she stole her sister's powers and then left the tower. And then her sister stole the key and she left the tower. And that is all we know of it. But you're saying that this is all due to the possible arrivance of the Great Eye?
whatever you want to give that name to that thing, I believe it is a precursor.
There's no people that have actually named the creature, for it destroys everything in its wake when it arrives, from what I hear.
It does.
Is it a
The
is it a god or is it a creature? What is it?
Some could call it a god with such powers. It could be worshipped. Obviously, this person that is tempting these dreams and nightmares and taking over people's minds, I believe it could be in service to it.
So he was after my sister for a reason unknown to me. There might be something special about her. Same with our Moxa, maybe even Othello's mother.
So you're saying
But
since he controls minds that there could be other people here that he is controlling as well?
I believe that's a possibility.
money and power are great motivators.
We have to approach this with much sensitivity then.
Indeed. I believe he is hiding in the mountains where your half giants reside. That is where my sister has been taken.
Hmm. It'd be very wise for us to possibly investigate that then. Um, so you're
I
saying this
do.
being is of great power? He travels between dimensions and
He
worlds.
does, and I fought him there and fell through the void to end up here.
Hmm. And your world
I
is
do not know
destroyed. And
what's
you
it.
said your world is destroyed?
Yes,
Hmm.
whether it was brought back to the nothingness it began as, or just reset so that way another could take its place, I do not know.
That is immensely unfortunate. I will make the adjustments to the star charts.
I would also ask that if you're worried about us having the key to the claw glider because you do not believe us to be of sufficient strength to battle our Moxa, I would not argue that point. But if you wish, we could plant a lie of our own and say that the key has been returned to draw focus away from us so that way we can go do some things that we need to do in secrecy and leave and draw their eyes to other places.
I just worry that that's just putting everybody here at risk. After what happened
Well,
with the Dwarven Temple,
so there's two possibilities with that. If she's working alone and not with someone from the tower, then yes, she could possibly mobilize against the tower. But if we believe that there are spies or those on the inside that would align with her, then you could potentially set up a trap for that as well.
Exactly. What we're gearing towards Othello is a form of warfare. And while the loss of life is tragic, it has to be calculated. And if you want to win and minimize that, you have to do it swiftly and cunningly.
I understand.
I also believe that there is a chance Armoxa, during her time, would have been fighting against the entity trying to control her. There is a chance that part of her insanity is her trying to use the claw glider against the eye since it is said to be invincible. Though that could bring about just as much destruction. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. All I know is the man you're looking for looks like an older version of me. I do not know how, but somehow this man has taken the form of my father and came specifically for my sister. That is about all the information we have for you, Lord Superior.
Well, one thing's for certain, we're all in great danger. And then at that time, you see the Lord Superior raise their head up real quickly, and they're like, huh? And this whirly of like, it's like the air turns purple, and this swirl starts happening within the air, right? The Superior starts shrieking in pain and drops to its knees, right? And it's like, no, my magic, you know?
Can
And
I grab him?
or it's a they. But if you go
Oh,
up to approach
okay.
them, you can go up to
Can
grab
I
them.
grab him?
But everything in the whole room, okay, you go up to grab them. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to roll to hit, or because my intention is to grab him and then just kind of throw him to where We are.
Oh no, the entire room's engulfed with it all at once. Like
Oh,
all the
okay,
air in
okay,
the
okay.
room. Uh I will say that when the air comes about, Jared and Pexar, you also have a feel of like your magic just fell away from you. Okay. Uh the superior screams an anti-magic field. Mm. And the superior
Is
grabs
there
his staff with a little imp on it, and it starts raising itself up, and it starts walking over to the main window. What are y'all doing?
Does the window is just like glass, or is it?
Yeah.
Can
I go to
I?
the window with
Yeah,
my
can I pull
stupid
out?
wand and I break the fucking glass.
Yeah, I'll see if he's going to another one. If are there multiple windows in this room?
Yeah, but it's just he's going up to the main big one at the front. Or
The
Okay.
it
big
is.
one. But if it's easy to open, I'll open it real quick.
No,
But
it's just a big window that you can look out of.
Yeah, I'll any of the smaller windows, I'll aim an arrow and try and shoot through it just to kind of bust it.
Okay. As you shoot through the window, I won't say you have to roll or anything. As you break the glass, it doesn't change anything in the atmosphere. You're still surrounded. It's not like the purple escapes or anything like that, the purple mist in the air. When y'all come up to the window, along with the superior, you hear it say, "Oh no!" And you see that the purple dome has completely encumbered not only the tower, but all the way up to slightly past where all the edge of the grounds are, right? Like a perfect big bubble, right? And he's like, or the superior's like, what is happening? You know, and y'all see in front of the area that you came in, just past that magical portal, or not portal, but magical barrier, a giant portal opens, right? And you see thousands of green skeleton undead coming through the portal.
hey, look, there they are. All right.
That would be
First things
Armaxa.
first. Pexor, uh, malediction. Can you use magic?
Nope.
All right. Then what you guys are gonna need to do is I need you guys to help get um, the superior out of here while I lead the way and try
Okay.
to fight off any combatants. Othello, I'm gonna need you to help in that matter with your bow.
Yeah, will do.
So
What
there's
about the rest
Okay.
of
only
the what about the rest
Now,
of the people here? I mean, is
when
there like an escape plan or what?
there's a
uh,
fire. There's
as
actually a
y'all,
fire exit here. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
as y'all,
Where are the exits? What's the
um,
fire escape plan?
as actually there isn't one. It's such a powerful temple. They never thought that this would ever transpire. I mean,
a quarter.
who can create a magical anti-magical field that large, uh, and that powerful that could overcome their temple? The superior turns and looks to Othello as y'all try to grab him, right? And they said, "You need to get the key as far from here as possible. There's only one way out. The magical lift is deactivated. There's no way down. You can you can actually leave and climb down the back balcony out the back of the temple. There's only one way back through there. You can reach the balcony and climb your way down. But if we stay up here, you're almost surely doomed.
All right, then let's go superior.
I'm not
And
going
we're
I'm going to stay here
okay.
and try to find a way to stop this anti-magic field. If there's anything I can do, I'm going to try to do it. I have to try to save the people. They're going to be consumed by the undead.
Where is a way that I can take them out of here? What, do
I
you have any secret ways off the grounds?
When you climb down the back side of the temple, be careful because the one side is hot and the other side is wind. And if you go too far on each side, you'll be blasted off or either burned. So as you climb down, make your way down to the hidden path. It'll go down to the left and it'll lead into a cave. When you get in there, it should take you to an upper right area outside of the area of the temple. or of the grounds. But here's the thing. I don't even want y'all to remain here or to try to travel from here. I want you to go back through the portal. They're not going to be expecting that.
The one that has thousands of green skeletons running out of it?
As soon as they leave out of it, I need y'all to try to jump back through it and see what you can find out.
Where would that?
Pexor, was you looking through the temple? Or excuse me, Pexor, you would notice as looking through the portal and stuff. Well, actually, no, it was in a downward position. You wouldn't see that yet. My bad.
No, I would have. What was it?
No, I would say where the undead is located, and you know how fast the undead travel. You would think that the portal is obviously near the mountain, and also would have to be near y'all's tower as well. The consortium of necromancy.
Well, alrighty. Looks like we're going home, boys.
I will do my best to try to get your students out. But we'll turn and then go down the balcony.
Okay. Y'all run to the back balcony, and sure enough, as you get to the back and everything, you see the land going on for a ways, but then you see the lava side of the tower, and it's flowing and pouring. It's got brimstone rock everywhere and everything. And the other side, you see wind flowing out of the tower and everything, and you see birds flying and everything like that. You do see a center column that's able to be climbed down, but it just has very awkward grips down from the balcony. It doesn't look like it's made to climb down, but someone could do it. I don't know if y'all
How
have
tall is it?
climbing equipment on y'all. You could possibly use that if you have rope.
Yeah, because I have a grappling hook and 50 feet of rope, but I don't know how tall this is or how high off the ground.
That's enough rope to get y'all down to the path. You won't have to climb.
Dope. All right. Find a good spot. It's a good spot for me to put the hook.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll find a good spot and then I'll drop down. Which one of you are good climbers?
I'm a
Not
good
me, but let's
faller.
do this.
What?
I'll start climbing down. I
What'd you
said
say,
I'm not a good
Peck?
climber, but
Yeah, I'm at a -1 with my climb. Yeah.
All right. Get on my back.
Whee!
let's do it. Yeah, I'll start climbing down.
And I'll just start going down.
As y'all start climbing down, the superior comes and looks over the rope at y'all. He goes, "One more thing. If you encounter any magical beasts, be careful. The pacifism magic is not active. They might be violent towards you."
Because just training them is too hard, right? You have to passively,
Pacifism magic.
make them submissive.
Yeah, I knew I should have put heroin in their water today.
Here you go, Skip. Man, you're such a good Terraskew when you've had your heroin.
So when we're at the bottom, is there a way around to get to the other parts of the grounds?
Pretty much the way is the only hidden way that you wouldn't be blown off, damaged from great winds, or also damaged from the severe lava and heat.
Right. But okay, so there's no way to from here to get to the rest of the courtyards and everything.
To get to the caves, there's a way down, but the rest of it's too far of a drop. It's a solid drop. It would be like death falling off.
The architecture of this place is terrible.
I mean, I could draw it out. It's going to take me about 5 or 10 minutes.
No, it's fine. Because my goal in my head is still trying to save people, so I just didn't know if I could get to that position from here.
Nope. Yeah, your new goal is just escape with your life.
Run.
That's
That's
easy.
our goal.
That's easy. I can just run faster than them.
Speak for
The goal
yourself.
isn't, the goal isn't to be first, it's to not be last.
All right.
All right.
Y'all go ahead and
Roll,
y'all come down,
on.
right? You get down to the main walkway. That's the hidden pathway thing. You take it up to the edge, and sure enough, you're coming across. And I will say, as you were going down the rope and everything, it was very violent. You know, coming at being hit with such abrasive elementals from each side. But you get down to the bottom. You get to the path. You make your way across, right? And you get up to the cave area. Y'all all go inside the cave. Uh, what do you do then? You're just going to travel? Or are you going to stop for a sec?
Um,
I don't know if we have time to stop.
I'm
yeah,
about to say.
Okay.
because I don't know
I
how
don't-
long that portal is going to stay
yeah.
open if that's where we're going. This
Yeah.
might be our only shot to get that close to our
What's
Moxa.
around the cave? You know, once we're in the cave looking around, is there like treasure?
Actually,
Do I find more
yeah, I'll
glowing
keep
orbs?
an I'll
As
keep
y'all
an
as
eye
y'all go
out.
as y'all go into the cave, you notice that it's very damp. Uh, yeah, there's a
God, it's
horrible smell to it as you go in there. Um, in the distance, you can hear creatures and stuff. Um, as you continue down the cave, right? I will say that you come around a few bends, but then you come up to this area that you know you have to walk past, and you see this giant creature sitting there asleep, right? It looks kind of like spider like in nature, but not really. Like it has spider stuff about it, but the legs don't exactly look like spiderish, you know, it looks horrible. Um, Anybody with magical stuff, go ahead and roll me uh, knowledge. You might know what the creature is. Actually, I'll let uh, Jared, Josh, and Pexor all three roll on this creature.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Is
nat
this just
22.
intelligence or
Yep.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage here.
I just got a 13.
I got a
I
nat
can't
20 as
read.
well.
I can't
Um,
read books to increase my knowledge.
Uh, Actually, Jared, you have a memory. You freeze for a second, and you have a memory of you and your wife being taken by this type of beast, right? And you believe it to be called a retriever, and it looks
We
like
have
a
no
giant
time.
spider type beast, right? And but uh, you have a slight memory of it taking your wife and you trying to stop it, and then it taking you. Anybody else that rolled above a 19 with their added score, they also know what this beast is, and it's a retriever. You do know it to be a very formidable beast. Those who know about it, uh, and it has magical abilities. But you also think that those magical abilities won't be effective within the void. So it might be easier to slay if y'all have to fight it.
Can you
Well,
ride
it's
it?
sleeping right now, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
you can
if
wake
I
it up and see if it's nice. I mean, I don't
yeah, if I see that
Hey,
it's sleeping, yeah, I'll definitely like kind of motion to the group to be quiet, and I'll start I'll kind of start going first and going quietly. And as we're going, I'm going to keep an eye on the ground to make sure that we're not stepping on any bones or anything that's going to make noise. So I'll lead the way and just kind of try and tread a path and have them follow me.
I'm gonna let you all
Okay.
know this right now. I have a -5 to my hide check.
Well, we're going on move
It's a good thing you're
silently
not
right
trying
now.
to hide.
For my move. I don't know. I'm in the llama lar.
Okay, as y'all move past the beast, its breath is so freaking deep and powerful that I mean, it's kind of intimidating to even be that close to something of its size.
Really
Um,
want really want to
Go ahead and roll some move silently for me.
I got 17.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I got a 1.
You got a
Natural
1, Frank?
Okay, I did
Yeah,
better than
I
you.
got a
All
nat
right.
1.
Frank, you
son.
did a nat 1. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
I figured
I
the
was a
best way to
7.
sneak past the beast was to step on the beast. You know?
It'll be so confused it won't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Right?
No.
You're gonna be like, "What's going on?"
Man,
Like,
with a 1, Frank just stepped on one of its babies.
Oh,
no,
jeez.
it has babies.
Oh,
But
But
Oh,
that means
well.
I killed it quickly, right? It means I just killed that baby quickly. It didn't make a sound.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. All you heard was like,
you know, I normally I would roll for it to awaken, but I'm pretty sure on a 1 it would awaken. So I'm just gonna
I don't
say
know.
see what happened.
I could always roll luck.
Okay.
I think it's time to jump on its back and ride it.
Yeah, at this point. Hey-ya!
Yeah, pretty much. Oh
I
boy,
have ride and animal handling. So if
yeah, I have.
if one of you wants to run back there and get my rope, then
I have-
we might be in business.
I got rope. I got rope right here.
Oh, hey-ya!
Hi-ya!
Okay. To say is y'all's all walking by it, trying to be all quiet and everything, and Frank, right whenever he's walking by it, he's doing a pretty decent job. But then all of a sudden, it reaches one of its legs out, just like as a sleep move, you know. It
Right.
almost catches Frank as it reaches out, and he tries to catch his footing, but he like goes back a few steps and he falls and he hits his back on the ground. Right. The creature definitely awakes on that.
All right.
But
I hide. You can't see me.
in
I'm on the ground.
its lair, you hide.
Yeah, I
But
pull out a knife and I hold up the baby.
It's like a T-Rex, right? If I don't move, it can't see me.
but you
I'm
know,
as still as
dude,
a statue.
due to the late start of tonight, I don't want to go ahead and get into such a prolonged fight because it is a strong beast, and that will take us a while to defeat it. Um,
But it is groggy, right? It just woke up, so it's
Yeah.
groggy and out of it.
Plus, it might not be a long fight if I can lasso it
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
and then have it.
I pull up.
We can just ride it out of there.
I grab one of his babies and I hold a knife up to it.
Yeah.
hey, I stab it.
Yeah.
We just want to go, okay? We just want to leave.
But yeah, that's the thing is the fight. It could go into a distant long fight. It does have quite a few
Oh
hit
yeah,
points.
it could be a 2-round fight where it just kills us all quickly, or it could kill us all over 10 rounds.
You know what the best part is? You know what the best part is? I still have 3 Molotov cocktails.
But yeah, for our viewers out there, we did get a late start tonight. It wasn't anything purposed or anything. We just happened to get around to not getting it on time. So it will be like a little bit of a shorter video, but I don't mind leaving it off there and starting the next one with another fight. This was a good session. If we stretch this out, I guarantee you we'll be here probably past 11. But I'm willing to leave that off there if y'all's willing to, and we can definitely pick up next session.
Yeah,
Sounds
gives
good to
me more
me.
time to think about what to do.
Well,
I
guys,
have my baby.
y'all had a lot of fun, and can't wait for next time. Thanks everybody for coming out and playing your characters and doing such a good job tonight. Also, thanks again to anybody that watches our channel and takes the time to play D&D with us. We enjoy your company as well. And don't forget to subscribe. I know I never say that on these videos, but we wouldn't mind having more subscribers to check out our content and keep y'all updated when stuff comes out. But thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.